Impulse here. Today I'm bringing us another video, and in this video I'm going to be ordering all the FNaF books and games. It's going to be kind of like a timeline, but it's not actually going to be a full timeline. It's just going to be the order that I think all the books come in. Okay, so let's not waste any more time. Let's just get straight into it. So we start off with 1982. And the first book or game that has happened in the timeline was the Lonely Freddy story. Alec seems to be a mix of Michael Afton and Chuck Afton, or whatever the crying child's name is called. I'm pretty sure it's Chuck though. Considering what's it called? Step closer. Yeah. Considering that, I'm pretty sure that Alec is Michael Afton and Chuck Afton, which is the crying child. Anyway, but if that's the case, then his sister is meant to be Elizabeth Afton, and if she's still alive at that point, then it must be before FNaF 4, or at least maybe at the beginning of the timeline, or at least before FNaF 4, but I think it's the first event in the timeline, considering... Okay, not considering anything, it's just a theory. Okay, next up, still in 1982, is Out of Stock. Out of Stock must also take place before FNaF 4, because the FNaF 4 night gameplay takes place in 1993, right after FNaF 1. So Out of Stock, Plush Trap is in the FNaF 4 house. So Michael Afton is Fun with Plush Trap is canon, meaning that Out of Stock must actually take place really early before FNaF 4 if Plush Trap minigame is there. And I doubt Michael Afton bought a Plush Trap doll and brought it to the FNaF 4 house when he returned to his childhood home. I doubt he bought a new one and just brought it home and just brought it with him. It must have been in the house already. Well, it's already been 2 minutes. This is going to be a long video. Okay, now we jump forward to 1983, which is Step Closer. Step Closer must happen before FNaF 4 because the crying child, or the younger brother, is still alive at that point. And yeah, FNaF 4 takes place in 1983 as well. So, which is right after Step Closer. Right after Step Closer is FNaF 4. But since the younger brother is still alive, then it must take place before FNaF 4. Which is why next up is FNaF 4, where the younger brother dies. But Michael Afton, or Pete, actually dies at the end of Step Closer, meaning that he could still be Mike-Bot. Mike-Bot could still be true. I made a video on that not too long ago, a theory video, and yeah, I think it could be true. Go check it out. I'm like 50-50 at this point. I don't know, but if that's the case, then there's actually no holes in that theory at all. No holes whatsoever. At all, because that means the survival logbook, when they're saying it was for me, and that's not in Michael Afton's red ink, then yeah, they're not lying. And also, he could still survive anything. And he's also, Pete is still the Foxy Bro, and the Foxy Bro is still Michael Afton. Okay, I'm not going to go on. This is taking too long. Anyway, now we jump forward to 1985, which is Into the Pit. I'm not including, like, actual present day when the beginning of Into the Pit happened. I'm only including, like, the actual time that the time-traveling ball pit travels to. Yeah, FNaF is a weird series, but I love it. Okay, anyway, yeah, and Into the Pit, it goes back to 1985. We already knew that. We already know it's 1985. So, yeah. Now we jump forward to 1987, which is when FNaF 2 happens. We know FNaF 2 was obviously before FNaF 1. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The Bite of 87 happens in the FNaF 2 location, done by Mangle, done to Jeremy Fitzgerald. Next up is 1993, which is FNaF 1, and the FNaF 4 night gameplay. But yeah, FNaF 1 happens before Sis Location. It must, because the Remnant combines from the FNaF 1 animatronics. Remnant combines from that, meaning it must be. I can't speak today. I can't think at all. This isn't scripted, so I don't know what to say sometimes. I wanted to record a message for you. I'm so sorry, I can't speak today. Yeah, the animatronic spirits are merged together to create the remnant that's infused with the Funtime animatronics. Okay, now we go to 1994, which is when 1:35 a.m. happens. We know it must be before Sis Location because she's the death that is in the vent that that Angsty Teen Hand Unit mentions in FNAF's Sis Location Night 2. So that must take place before Sis Location. And also before Fetch, and also before the Stitch Wraith story. Although I'm not really including the Stitch Wraith origin story in this. Anyway, next up we have the Silver Eyes in 1995. We already know that, which I don't know how we didn't think that the missing children's incident was in 1985. If it was, and we knew that 1995 was 10 years after the missing children's incident. I don't know how nobody put that together. Not even me. We're kind of dumb sometimes. I'm sorry if that insulted you. You're not dumb. Only I'm okay, never mind. Anyways, after Silver Eyes is Count the Ways. Count the Ways is with Funtime Freddy, with the girl inside the stomach. That is after they're infused with Remnant. Yeah, they're infused with Remnant at this point, and now Funtime Freddy has the girl inside her, and then that girl ends up dying and stuff, and then that's the body we see in the blueprints of Sis Location. Next up, we have 1996, where Fetch happens first. That's when kids go back to the FNaF 1 location and find that Fetch character, animatronic. And ow, frick. Sorry, I've been playing with a chair with my feet. Ugh. And now I almost dropped it on my head. Bye-bye. Oh, whoa, that was not the best thing that happened. Okay, today. Okay, anyway. Next up is the Twisted Ones, when they all return to the FNaF 1 location and find Dave's body, and then Dave gets out, becomes Springtrap, and all that happens. Twisted animatronics are there. Anyway, the next thing that happens is a few months later, the fourth closet, still in 1996, the fourth closet, and then there's the Remnant combining stuff, and then after that, there is room for one more, but that must happen after the fourth closet, because Sis Location must happen after the fourth closet, but room for one more must happen before Sis Location too, because, remember Baby said that someone before Michael, in Sis Location, someone before Michael crafted a space under the desk, and that must have been Stanley, because that's the only other person we know of. Anyway, next up, we have, this one's not 100% clear. I think it could be 1996, towards the end of the year, or towards the beginning of the year, or mid-year in 1997, where Sis Location takes place. I'm not really going to elaborate too much because I can't speak today. Anyway, now in the year 2000 is when To Be Beautiful happens. Ennard and Baby are, Ennard is walking through, is, trying to find somewhere to go, or, but in the sewers. They're stuck in the sewers and stuff, which is because Ennard, Ennard left Mike's body and now is in the sewers. We saw that in Sis Location Custom Night cutscene. We still saw Ennard in the sewers. We saw the eyes. But then Ennard and Baby split up. And then Baby ends up on the surface and she finds Eleanor. She's Eleanor. She finds, I forgot the girl's name. she finds that girl anyway, and then uses her parts and stuff to look more human. And then the girl ends up looking like Ennard, looking kind of like Ennard, and then she dies. And then Baby ends up going back to another location and fixing herself up. Now we jump pretty far over to 2017 to 2018 with the survival logbook. This must happen towards the present day, considering it has the recent trends, like dabbing was in the book, meaning it had to be around present day. I think dabbing originated in 2017 or 2018, sometime then, so I think survival logbook took place around then. Now we jump forward to this year, which is when the new kid takes place. I do not believe that, I definitely do not believe that Kelsey is actually Golden Freddy. I think Kelsey, okay, I don't know what Kelsey is, but if MikeBot is true, then I think Kelsey is, a prototype of MikeBot, and that's why he survives the thing. Anyway, the new kid takes place 2000 because they have cell phones and stuff, so it must take place around present day. Okay, now we jump forward 3 years to FNaF 3 in 2023. We already know that because it's 30 years after FNaF 1. And now the next game could take place either 2024 or 2025, and that's FNaF 6. Yeah, I think FNaF 6 must have taken place 1 to 2 years after FNaF 3, because Springtrap is still trapped in the building for probably a couple months after that. But then he eventually escapes, and then he has to go back to another location to fix himself and become Scraptrap. So I think that would have taken 1 to 2 years to happen. But then I think regardless of when FNaF 6 takes place, whether it's in 2024 or 2025, I think definitely in 2025 is when Ultimate Custom Night happens. Ultimate Custom Night, I think, happens in 2025 because I think it's obviously after FNaF 6, because remember what Henry said, the darkest pit of hell has come to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. Remember that? And yeah, Ultimate Custom Night takes place after FNaF 6, obviously. And I think it takes place in 2025 because he's probably spent a few months in there by then, but yeah, he's in hell. But I think it would have taken place in 2025, even if FNaF 6 was 2024. Ultimate Custom Night was probably in 2025. Now we jump forward 5 years to 2030, which is when I think FNaF VR takes place. I think they're opening up a new mall to an 80s nostalgia mall called Pizzaplex, where they're making new animatronics, but they also want to make more things, 2 other things to get a better attraction. And the first thing that comes to mind is a VR game. And then that's when the beta testing happens, and then Vanny is possessed by William. Even though she was evil before, she didn't want to actually kill kids and stuff and become the new purple guy. But she did after she was possessed and stuff. And then we jump forward to Security Breach, which I think will happen in 2030. Not 2020, not 2030, 2031, I think. Is when Security Breach takes place. But then I also think the VR game is actually the VR game, and the Eternal package from FNaF AR is actually sold at the Pizzaplex Mall. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end the video there. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like on the video, and if you like my other videos, please consider subscribing. Let me know if you would move around any of the things on the list, and yeah. I'm also gonna do a top 10 superheroes that need a VR game soon. I mentioned that in a video that I haven't uploaded yet. You'll see that soon as soon as I make my VR video. But yeah, I'm doing top 10 superheroes that need a VR game. I'll be doing that very soon. I've already made the list, and yeah, I just need to record it. I don't know when I will though. It's probably very soon. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Impulse 7 out.
Everything's coming together. Now we're erupting in terror. It's glowing forever. The fear is growing ever. Confided that one day I'd like to be invited outside of this domain. This reality, my mentality, everything changes so rapidly, and I'm ready for the never-ending fire. Dancing with my deepest dark desires.